I work as an accountant in a secondary school. 2 months after we got married, my husband collected my ATM card. My salary is 110K. When my salary comes, my husband withdraws the whole salary. God works in the mysterious way.
The God of the church he sold.
And actually, the God of the church he sold. My uncle got a girl pregnant at 17 and rejected the baby. Fast forward to 30 years later, he's been married 3 times and hasn't had any kids yet. The daughter he abandoned is a chemistry lecturer in the US. Hi everyone, welcome to Truth and Takes podcast. With me I have
Nice.
And then I am Favor. Welcome to today's episode. We're about to have some very big laughs.
So we're going to be doing something very different from what we usually do, and we hope you like this episode. But we're going to be going through some cringe stories that people have experienced from something going around on social media and all that. So I'll let my guest or my co-host take over.
Okay, so the first one says, I want your most unhinged Nigerian family law. And somebody responded, I don't know, but my dad is a pastor. He left my mom and remarried, sold his church properties, used the millions he got from it to send his new wife and daughter abroad. Immediately they got there, she switched lines and attitude on him. Lol. Talk about
Very
karma.
good. Very good.
Talk about karma. Oh. See, God works in the mysterious way.
The God of the church he sold.
And actually, the God of the church he sold works in mysterious ways. Because what is this?
He sent them abroad and he did not even go with them. Weird man.
He remarried, sold all the church properties, and then I'm not sure he left his initial family with any kind of money rather, or help. It is well. So the next one says, I want your most unhinged Nigerian family law. My uncle got a girl pregnant at 17 and rejected the baby. Fast forward to 30 years later, he's been married 3 times and hasn't had any kids yet. The daughter he abandoned is a chemistry lecturer in the US. To make matters worse, his first wife remarried and has kids now. He's been the problem all along.
Yes. Well, how come he's not giving birth to the other woman, but he was able to produce?
Maybe let's even ask first if the first daughter is his own. Right? I think there's a medical term for it when someone is able to impregnate or get pregnant the first time, and then after that they now become infertile or unable to get pregnant. I can't remember what it's called, but yes, they have first child.
Let not go back for that child though.
Actually, she just live her life. Honestly, or maybe I think it's okay if he wants to reconnect, but then you think he shouldn't. But you abandoned the girl actually, so they have no business.
No way, don't come. I don't know.
Except if the girl, out of her good mind, wants to. Okay, let me get to talk with my daddy at least once.
No,
but if she wants, it's her choice. Okay, next one. I want your most unhinged Nigerian family law. I have an uncle who's the most kindest to strangers. He can take you to his home for the first time, and you'll be fed till you bust open for the next months if you want. He will be begging you not to leave, but I assure you, to those that live under him, bro is mean and a very vile person. I watched him beat his house help so much one time for ruining his meal. He got tired of using his fist. He started biting her. What's the word? I'm trying to find the psychological term for people who show kindness, not because they are kind, but because they are deprived of something, or
maybe because they want to be perceived outside.
Exactly, he wants to be perceived as a good person, but he's not really a good person. Those kind of people, they are under sacrificial. What's the word? Under certain experiences or situation, that's when you can really see what is inside them, that they are not genuinely nice
biting
people.
her.
biting. Why? What did she do? She made a mistake in your meal, or doesn't matter even if she burnt your house down. Why are you biting her?
Like,
Why?
hi.
Or maybe he has temper issues. Well, temper issues.
Men and their testosterone.
As in- okay, so let's go to the next word. I want your most unhinged Nigerian family law. My uncle and his wife had an argument, and when he was going to work, she told him that trailer would jam him as he's going to work. That day, my uncle was killed in an accident.
Jesus.
Your
Is
words.
it that
Your
wait, I
words.
want to know, is it that she was it's an insult, or she
It was
just
an
she saw a
insult.
revelation
I don't know. I don't know. I even that kind of revelation, you are not supposed to say it.
in the
Like
in the 1500s? They will tie her to firewood
exactly,
and call
and
her witch
call her
and
a
burn her.
witch. Actually, it could be out of anger. Maybe she was offended with him, and maybe this is just one of the unlucky moments where your words are being manifested.
This
But
one your
honestly, if
village
not for
people.
people who are mindful of their words, imagine if every word you said came to pass.
It's not possible. I'm a billionaire.
No, but do you know the negative things have more energy actually. Negative things have more
I don't
energy.
like $1 billion. I don't like a
No, but
billion
it's not,
dollars.
it's not really a negative thing
It
because
is
you're not saying
listen, I
something. It's
don't
not
like it.
true. It's not true to you. Is
I
it true to
don't it's
you?
true. I'll make it true. I'll make it. I don't like $1 billion.
So I don't know, but you see, the bad things just have a way of having so much energy that they come to pass. Because what is that? I'm sure this woman must have spoken to her husband on their wedding day and be like, "You're the best man I ever married." How come he never eventually became the best man?
Hi, she'll be so miserable,
Actually, I'm sure she'll be so sad because
hi.
imagine saying that to your husband
And then
and
it
eventually
happens.
you might not even remember immediately. Maybe a year or two, just reminiscing
You
about.
remember the
You now
last word.
remember the
No, she will
last
remember the
words,
last word she
right?
said to the husband.
Last words you said to him, and you're like, ah, so it's possible I actually even killed my husband. That's really sad. So the next one, I want your most unhinged Nigerian family law. My uncle, Uncle Bashiru, this one added his uncle's name, was cheating on his wives. He had two. There was a wedding party in Lagos that he was supposed to attend with his wives, but he refused to let them join him in his car. He did this because he intended to travel with his girlfriend. On his way to the party, his car was stopped by hired killers. He, his best friend, and his girlfriend were shot dead. His blood splattered all over his younger sister, Auntie Taye, and her baby Bassett, who were in the back seat. Bassett, who were in the back seat. Come on. It was a year. It was a year in the 2000. The newspaper clippings of his assassinations were on the top of our TV for the longest time. So the rumors were that the girlfriend was dating an armed robber. Some said it was an armed robbery gone wrong, but may Allah forgive them. Wow. Things they sup. Things are really happening.
No comment.
Honestly,
No
no
comment.
comment. Really no comment. Let's just go to the next one. I want your most unhinged Nigerian family law. My cousin impregnated his classmate in SS2. They were both 16. Anyway, guess who is the single father of the triplets now? Family was so baffled because how and when are you having unprotected sex, and why is your luck terrible that the same thing people are doing and and not getting pregnant. You reach your turn, you born triplets.
At the age of 16, you just married
As
three
in
children. And
double
no
wahala.
need to ever reproduce after that
Honestly,
again. You just
just
say
just
you're
stick with
cursed.
that. Because you might try again, maybe intentionally, and just have seven.
The girl that even push them out and call
Actually,
16
at
year old and she's already
16, I hope she
stretching.
survived actually, because I feel this story is focused on the guy, but I hope the lady who actually gave birth to those three children survived. So the next one, my dad told me my great granddad was a very strong dibia in Benin then. He also had a sister who was a witch. So when one of his child died, he invited all his siblings to the house with the dead body in the living room. He bought live tortoise and told his sister to eat it or she dies. He said he knew she was the one who had something to do with his child's death. His sister complained and cried for hours, but she gave up and started eating the tortoise. Immediately she finished it, his child woke up. The child was my grandfather. He confirmed the story. You see, I wanted to say
This one
fear
is
Benin
witchcraft.
people, but then
I don't even want to talk about this one. This
witchcraft
one is
is
witchcraft.
real, very, very real. And if witchcraft is real, you have to know that God is real as well. Because come on.
Mm.
Omo. So the next one says, I want your most unhinged Nigerian family law. My uncle abandoned his boys. There was nothing that was not done to make him involved in his kid's life, but he refused. Years later, when he learned those boys were rich, he went to their home with some other family members to beg. But the sons gave him the beating of his life.
Nope.
My mama followed for the embarrassing waka. She was lucky they did not beat her too. It's good
She
for you
went to
people.
beg for the.
Thank God this child is aware of the
Yes.
rubbish his
No.
parents did, and he
No.
said my mom followed in the embarrassing waka, because what's that?
No.
But then
No.
God. you
No.
think I'm about to excuse him? You're already saying no. Well, I've learned to really hear people's side of the story, because it's not validated. Nothing he will say will validate his actions, but there could just be a very
No.
sincere experience or
No.
situation that happened.
No.
Anyway, their family, their
That
problem.
drama.
Okay, this is another one. Got married 2 years ago. I work as an accountant in a secondary school. 2 months after we got married, my husband collected my ATM card. My salary is 110K. When my salary comes, my husband withdraws the whole salary, takes 70 and gives me the rest. He will still insist I use the money to buy things for the house and also for transportation to work. After 3 months, I asked him what he does with the money. He would tell me he adds it to his business, tailoring materials. So he's even a tailor. I, com- I complained to my mom and she told me not to worry because he's my husband. Some months later, I told him I needed to change my wardrobe and get some new shoes for work, that I would need all the money for that month. He called me a stupid woman, that I should manage the ones I have. When I refused, he beat me with his belt. I told my employer everything. Then she told me to open another account that my salary will be divided into two: 60K in my old account and 50K in my new account. She said I should tell my husband that the school is downsizing the salary, and they are retaining me. Okay, they are downsizing and they are retaining me with the condition that my salary will be reduced to 50K. When I told him, he didn't even bother. When my next salary came, he collected 40K and gave me 20K.
Transport.
I was I was angry and asked him how he expects me to go to work. Then I also questioned what his own money is used for. He beat me badly and kicked my stomach. I miscarried the baby I was carrying. After I was discharged, he told me that if I ever questioned his authority again, that he would disfigure me. This is someone I dated for 1 year, 7 months with no form of violence. Though our church, I hope it's not what I think. The fact that I just heard church.
Read.
Though our church does not support visiting our intended husband alone, so I didn't have the opportunity to study him the way I should. My mother had an accident and I wanted to send her money. I asked my husband that I would need extra 15K when my house with my from my salary when my salary is paid. He told me that I won't give my mother anything because his mother needs a deep freezer for her fish business. I just didn't say anything. I sent some money I sent some of the money I have been saving in the other accounts to my mother. A week later, his mom had an accident in a keke where she went to buy fish. He told me to take a loan from my office so he can add to the one he has to treat my mom. I told him to use the one he has been saving from my salary and I won't do what he asked me. And he should remember what he told me when my mom had accident. Then 2 months later, he returned my ATM card because my salary was no longer coming. I told him to hold it, that I won't collect it again. He went in to bring his belt to beat me. I used the curtains pipe on the floor of the sitting room to hit his neck. He told everyone that I want to kill him. His people told me to apologize. I said over my dead body. On the next day, I got a car and packed my belongings and left him. I told the woman I worked as a nanny I told the woman I worked as a nanny in the house after my secondary school what I have been going through and she promised to help. She sent me 450K to get an apartment, which I have done and moved in. My pastor said I should resolve the matter. For the first time in my life, I insulted my pastor and told him he shall not be well with him. I have apologized to my pastor, but I won't go back to the devil of a husband. Now, my mom says if I don't go back to my husband, that it will break her heart and she may die because my mom is diabetes and hypertensive. My father is late. How should I convince my mom to understand that I can't go back? Please, I need advice.
By telling her
First,
that the man refused to pay for her hospital bill
ask your
because
mom.
of this reason.
Ask your mom who she wants to die. Will she die or she wants me to die? Because it's actually who the survivor of the fittest right now. And please, young lady, you took too long.
If not, say she whip on with pipe for
You
neck.
took too long to leave that house. Oh my God, your life was at weeks.
20K.
The moment he asked for your ATM card, the moment he splits your salary, that's the point where you need to call the elders of his community, his family, call the leaders, the so-called pastor you were communicating with, the church people. That's the moment you're supposed to have a meeting to discuss such matters. Because why will he collect your ATM, split the salary into, it's not even half, he took more of the money and still insisted that you get things for the house from the change remaining. It was at that point you were supposed to talk.
You made me more angry.
I don't understand. It was at that point you were supposed to talk. Even hit you and you miscarried your child. You still did not leave.
And
you waited.
That woman's mother.
But you see, you know why I will not blame the mother, because the mother most likely experienced worst in her time. And she's feeling like it's normal.
For better, for worse.
Exactly, for better, for worse. So you now that you are in this 2025, you have the internet, you are more advanced. And please, I don't know how the situation happened with your church, but really, your church does not have a fault in this. First of all, the pastor should be flogged.
How you say you cannot go and visit the man you want to spend the rest of your life with because of church? You don't even want to see where he's living or if he's actually married. I just want to marry your second wife.
And please, I'm not of that belief that people who are cotton cannot visit themselves alone.
Okay,
I do not agree with that.
You cannot have premarital sex. It's different.
Set boundaries, but don't tell people. It's not. I don't even know what to say. I'm pained,
the people
speechless, offended.
The people around herself
really
problematic.
And I actually feel she is of the same mindset with the people around her, because for the fact that it took her this long to leave, it means somewhere in her mind she also believed her husband is,
the way you said, they know the advice person waiting
in love actually, because
she had to open her own eye.
I think she got to a point where she was fed up, right, where she felt like she could not take it anymore. And in a way, I believe so much that she's also of that mind system, that belief system, that you have to your man is the head, he's on top of you, he's sitting on top of you, doing everything on top of you, beating you, miscarrying your baby.
The man should go and sell that deep freezer. Why are you asking me for money?
I didn't want to talk about the man this time around. That's not a human being. He's not really not worth your data to stream this video. It's not worth
the way some women train their children,
right?
You'll be wondering.
Our mothers of those times, they went through a lot.
So why would you want another woman to go through that same thing?
They feel that's natural. They feel that's life. So it's not like a dog asking I'm expecting a female dog to teach her other dog not to bark. That's natural to her. That's all she has known all her life. So to her, she's even feeling like what I'm giving you is the only thing that will save your life. It's the best, what you need to survive. She doesn't know she's actually sending her daughter to the grave. And please, mama, why are you asking your daughter to go back to the marriage except she wants you to die? Because this time around, you need to choose. Do you want your life or your daughter's life?
If she
Because
wants,
it's not by killing people for money that you commit
if she wants to
ritual.
die,
Oh.
if her diabetes want to kill her, I think kill her. Baby.
It's
She
not
goes,
until
she
you
goes, she
kill
goes.
somebody for money that is ritual. Look, what you are doing is already looking like ritual.
You see this type
You
of
want
problem.
your daughter to die so that you
If
will
she had not
survive. I
even
don't
stood up
understand.
for herself and used that pipe
Mm-hmm.
to hit his neck, he would have
Actually,
still
he would
beat her
have
that day.
beaten her and she lost a
He,
child.
he's afraid of her. Now. There's one person
And please, who is your pastor? Who is your pastor? So it's not everybody that carry Bible and stand on the pulpit that is a pastor. Oh.
before the pastor now
Even
will
the
sell
Bible said by
church,
their fruits.
and go and marry somebody else.
Because what is the fruits your pastor is producing? If he's not producing that, please take away that title. Because we are in a world where, honestly, we are in a world where people are just carrying so much titles, but there's nothing attached to it. My brother was talking to me some time ago. He was like, he's just really annoyed how some people who are employed as agents in real estate company will be calling themselves a realtor. Like, guy, you are not a realtor or anything. You don't even
Real
own a
estate
single property.
mogul.
As in, you don't own a single property, but because we are now in the social media era, you are posting people's land and houses for sale. You are not calling yourself a real estate guru. Please, 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 please. Because you manage the Sunday school party in your church, you're not changing your Twitter bio, project manager.
No, that one. If it's on your CV, it's legal.
No,
Oh, it's
no,
legal.
on your CV is different. We on your social media, nobody posts their CV on their status. But don't come, you now post a selfie, project manager,
Event planner.
event plan. Please now, please. You not take the job and mess it up. You not people that now have the certification and the true experience, will not be finding will not be competing in the same markets with you.
The man will put on his own bio. What's the other word for feminist? Is there
What? God, I can't remember.
wife trainer? You should just put wife trainer.
Family coach.
Yes. Marriage coach.
Marriage coach. So please, your pastor should lose his title. We've not heard the side of the story, but I think the part of your story is enough. If truly you said your pastor is begging you to go back to your husband, and your pastor knew all of this story, then he should lose his title.
He should go back to the
Please.
husband.
He
The
needs to be
pastor
saved again. He needs to be born
The
again.
pastor should go back to the husband. Go and marry the
She
husband.
married your husband. And please, you took too long. I hope you're fine. I hope you're
Yeah.
okay. And please, I wish you peace. To the next one.
Yeah.
Nigerian bride shares their worst wedding vendor experience. The photographers turned my husband into Liminho. When we got our wedding pictures, I almost cried. My husband's face was edited. He looked like an AI model, beard gone. And they told your husband to princess. No slimmer, skin smoother than glass. Even his own mother asked who he is. You should be happy that they give your husband wings. Meanwhile, the other picture, blurry, overexposed, or just bad angles. We refuse to pay his balance, so we don't have any raw files, just these over edited pictures. Our caterer stole the
Photographers.
food. No, let's even talk about this. Let's
Photographers
first of
are
all,
talented.
did you go through his
Previous
catalog?
work.
Please, did you go through his catalog? Did you see what he has done in the past? And how much did he charge? Because now they are calling him wedding photographer. You go now and see that his only birthday picture the man has snapped in his whole life. And you are now
Photographer or his passport photo he
exactly
has taken.
passports exactly, and he charged you 15K for wedding photograph, and you say
And
yes,
you say, yeah, yes, so
yes,
cheap.
exactly. So let's
Go and
confirm
steal
again.
other people's work and
Because
show as his own.
actually, let's confirm again. How much did you pay him? And did you check his catalog? Were you sure and convinced that he could do the job? And did you? Because wedding is a big deal, even for a project. I will scrutinize whoever I'm going to employ.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your own wedding. You just don't pick
So
a
she
random
does not have
person.
any picture
Exactly. You
anymore
don't
of
pick
her
a
wedding
random
day.
person who tells you I can do the job. Go through his catalog, check his reviews. He probably should even have a website, because men is my wedding. Except you cannot afford someone who has all that, then you manage whatever comes with the package.
Lee Chung-hyun.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry they turned your masculine mind into a princess.
Cut his beard.
Okay, so the last one for today. Our caterer stole the food. We paid for 500 guests. By the time guests started coming, or started arriving, a waiter whispered in my ear, "My food don't finish." Yeah. Turns out my caterer had picked full coolers of jollof meat and small chops into their car and vanished. Some of my husband's relatives didn't eat at all, and one uncle is still holding it against us till today. Meanwhile, I later saw a video of my caterer at an other event that same day. She was busy serving my wedding food somewhere else.
Two birds with one
Wow.
stone.
I think I know what happened here. I think she cooked for the two people, customers at the same time, cooked the same food and the same snacks, and she was going to separate, divide it, and maybe her logistic people packed
I beg you.
extra, or maybe the other clients paid her more, or she prefers that client. So when she discovered their food was not enough, she came to your party, took the food,
She
and
just wanted to use one money
exactly
kill
to
two
satisfy
to do two
satisfy
events
to
and keep the
customers.
other one for
But that's
herself.
sad.
Carry
How did
meat,
your
carry
wedding
this
go?
thing.
This is me rooting out for
And you know how Nigerians are with food.
exactly.
That
A whole
uncle is
wedding.
justified because
That's really
our
sad.
elders, you
Mm-hmm.
cannot not
My
drop
brother's
even
wedding,
what
we
they don't
had
want to
issues
eat.
because the caterer served our Igbo in-laws the way they serve Yoruba. You know, they'll put the semo and the soup in the same bowl. Me too. I never thought about it that Igbos
You
do not
cannot put it
like
in the
that way.
same bowl.
They wanted it. Yeah, Igbos like it in
Okay, you go
separate
take your
bowl.
food like what's that?
Exactly. No, Igbos, they actually take it as a big deal. You have to serve them in different bowls. Soup one bowl, semo or swallow one bowl.
Wow.
So we served it normally, the way you serve amala and ewedu, and then they didn't eat. Oh, they were really offended. Most, as in, we had a lot of swallow that we had to take back home because they refused to eat. And she didn't come with soup plates. That's the funny thing. She didn't even budget for
That's
soup plates
not
because
a
she felt
mistake that you say somebody
exactly it was not
intentionally made.
intentional. So we had to beg. See us going to our in-laws table, and we are the husband coming to marry wife. So we're literally begging them to eat food because it was our family that sponsored
At the
the,
end
the
of the day, now the
traditional
man that
food.
they stay house, the man I'll be at home with.
Funny
So
enough, they are married now. Who even remembered? Although
if you
in-laws
want to
can actually
vex
keep
for
record
food,
of very funny things.
as long as you're not entering my household to do
As in,
anything for me, please keep your record.
really, because it's funny. Wow, Pele dear, I hope you were able to enjoy
Sort
your
out.
marriage
I beg
honeymoon
that uncle buy him
and
food
beg
for
him
1 year.
really and maybe explain to him that it's not your fault because you should never be offended, Jerry. It's not his
Where you
wedding.
need to drag that caterer
Yeah, drag the person
on
online rather.
Instagram.
I really would
Drag
support
her.
that and let her refund you if possible and maybe give an explanation even if it's not valid, but just hear her out. So that's the end of our series today. Yeah,
Nigerians are going through a lot.
actually.
Anyways, I'm still shocked by the stories because some of them
They are
I cannot
troublesome,
believe they are real.
really.
But
They actually
anyways,
real. Oh. If you take out time to hear stories from the streets, you realize that people are going through a lot and a lot is going through them.
please let me not go to the street. Let me just stay inside my house and be doing what I'm doing.
Really.
Cause like, come on, husbands. The husband is a new level that he has taken his steps
Mm-hmm.
to. But anyways, thank you guys for joining us today.
Thank
I
you.
hope you enjoyed this new way we've done something for you today because we want to do everything to make sure that you like what we do.
Yeah.
And thank you to Favor for taking over our story reading. I know you don't enjoy her own as much as you enjoy my own.
Just tell her the truth. Don't lie. Liars go to hell.
But we'll be back very far soon. But far. Okay.
Yeah.
So you can end the show. Let's end this for us because I'm
Okay.
taking.
Thank you
Okay,
so much for listening in on today's series. Thank you for listening to my very fine voice. I know some people will say I did not read it as nice as they would do,
as
but
nice as nice.
as nice as nice. Come on. But I read it anyway, and I'm sure you enjoyed all the conversation we had here today. So we will meet you same time, same day, different dates next week. And remember to like, subscribe, share, engage our page. We serve you the premium gist.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, and thank you for joining Truth and Takes podcast.
Thank you guys. Bye.
Bye.